All right. I'd like to talk about a song called Monroe's Hornpipe. It's a tune that Bill recorded in the very late 1950s for Decca, and had a lot of things that are of interest, and I want to show you. It's a really cool fiddle part, the way it was played, and Bobby Hicks recorded this with Bill when he was in the band, and it's a really cool way, and it's not an obvious way of doing it, which I think was really neat. And we'll go over just the first part first. It's a two-part tune. Go over the first part first, and then I'm going to show you a lot of stuff on the second part, the high part of the song. So here's the basic first. You know, I always think of these tunes as like A, B. So the A part is this right here. Really well done. It's real symmetrical, perfect choice of notes. And on the record, you'll notice that Bobby kind of drags into, which I think is real effective. Now, what you want to do is, I'm going to play this first piece. That's really the whole, we've talked a lot about how Bill used to talk about my playing. One of the things he loved about my playing was, he said, you know how to make the music go around in a circle. And what he meant was symmetrical. And I always think in terms of symmetry with everything in music. Great music is most oftentimes symmetrical, and I always think of whatever happens on the front piece of a particular passage needs to be reflected on the back half. And this is a perfect example of perfectly symmetrical. That's the melody to the first piece. It's actually brilliant the way the melody works. And then you kind of slide into that, pick up into that. If you think about this tune, again, whenever we're talking about analyzing songs, I always take like the A part and then split it in half. I talk about, the same thing on a solo. If you take a solo, first off, cut the solo in half. Let's just analyze the first half of a solo. Then let's analyze the back half. But now let's talk about the first half of the first half, or the first quarter of a solo. So that's what we're doing here. So this little piece is basically just the same thing repeated over and over again. That's what wraps it up. And you play that twice, and you've played the whole first part of Monroe's Hornpipe. So here's the notes. Now you'll notice every time we go back to the low A is a better choice. And you can even just nudge it. You don't have to go to the A, to the solid A flat. Just make it just a quick nudge. Just barely slide into that A. Now, something I do that will really help it always sound really in tune is I don't slide the entire length of the note. I'm talking time-wise now here, not flat and sharp that way. So length of the tune, get it up to that A as fast as you can. Let the audience hear, everybody that hears you play it, grasp that is a solid A note. And the way to get that is to get up to it as fast as you can. Keep the effect of the slide, but slam it up into that A and hold it. And so here what happens if I don't slide, it like loses the proper character. So you need to ease into it a little bit, but you want to get up into that A quick so that it's not, it's, you know, it's a solid A. Now when I go back to the A, halfway through the lick, I don't slide at all. The one that's coming up. See her? That time I come all the way open, but it's very subtle. It's actually that. There you go. That's the whole first part. Now the second part I've heard played 100 different ways, and I'm going to show you a whole bunch of different ways to do it because I think they all have value, but I'm going to explain why I think each one of them does have value. Now Bill on the mandolin, he plays the second part like, that's the way he plays it. So the fiddle part, you'll notice, and one thing you'll notice about Bill on his mandolin playing, he really pulls out that open E. And that's no accident. He's doing that for effect. That's something he wants, and he lots of times emphasized things when he was playing, to almost to the point of where he was almost like showing you, meaning all of us, everybody, the whole rest of the world, I really intend for this note to, this is a very important part, I really intend for this note to stand out. And he would really, really, really emphasize it. But I like playing it up the neck.